All right, what's cracking? So, now right here, this is a screenshot of an interview that she did, right? Where you look at the caption, the description of the interview, it says that she had a Los Angeles debut at what? At a Masonic lodge. Now, why would they title the interview something like that? Like that's kind of odd. That they it's kind of like and I mentioned this. It's kind of like they're kind of going out of their way to show you who she is and what she's really about, right? And in the last video, part one, I went over ad nauseum. I went over the Masonic checkerboard and the theme of red, black, and white for the Black Mass, right? The checkerboard, the black and white checkerboard for duality, and the red for the blood on the dance floor. The blood on the dance floor is symbolic of the blood sacrifice, right? Michael Jackson, he popularized that term, the blood on the dance floor, and we're going to show you that she knows what she's doing, right in this next slide. We're going to show you that she knows the meaning of that she's totally aware, she's consciously aware of what she's doing when she shows you that theme of red, black, and white, right? Now watch this. Now keep in mind, I said it's for the blood on the dance floor. Watch this. This is from her Instagram. Look at what she captioned it, right? Murder on the dance floor. While she's sitting on the black and white checkerboard floor with her bandmates. Right? Am I saying things? Am I making this up? No one told her to do that, right? Or at least I didn't tell her to. She decided to caption the photo of that. But let's continue, right? Now, right here, now what's very interesting about this character is that clearly she's a program multiple, right? She has multiple alters, and this is from 2017 on her Twitter, right? So she went by Sophie Morgan before she went by Luvcat, and her sound and her aesthetics was more like a Southern Belle, Mason Dixon line, small town USA white girl making folk music, right? With a guitar. You see what I'm saying? Like she had that whole aesthetic and sound. It was not. She did a complete 180 with this Luvcat character, which tells me that what most likely it's an alter of hers, right? It's one of her alters that's programmed in her, likely from a child. And we're going to actually look at some some photos from even her childhood that kind of points to the notion that most likely we are looking at an MK asset, maybe even an industry plant, which it goes hand in hand. But first, before we even continue, I know you already see it. She says she captioned this photo, "Pub describing me perfectly," and it says Dizzy Blonde, and then right underneath that it says what? It says white witch. And when it says white witch, it doesn't mean like a white woman who's a witch. Within that world of witchcraft, you have what they consider to be a black witch and a white witch. Supposedly the black witch is more so on the side of darkness, or on the side of like evil spell casting and things of that nature. Whereas the white witch is more, supposedly, this is their perspective on it, is more in alignment with like positive or good witchcraft and spell casting. Now, we know that from the Bible, from the biblical perspective, all of this stuff is on the left-hand path. None of this is right-hand path or in alignment with the Most High and the tenets of the Scriptures. This is all evil. This is all evil shit that these little bras are into nowadays. But let's continue. Now, right here, it's right in your face, right? And you may look at this, someone may look at this and say, man, she just messing around. She just playing. This ain't really serious. But guess what? I got you, right? Let's continue. We're going to see her do this same thing about a gazillion times, letting you know what? She's not playing. She ain't fucking around when she's throwing them horns up on her head. This is her way of letting you know that she venerates the goat god. She venerates the horn god. She venerates Pan, right? She venerates Cernunnos, Pan, the Baphomet, or whatever deity she calls the entity by. whatever you want to call it. I don't give a damn. It's all the same shit, right? And you see once again the theme of red, black, and white. And she's got on a polka dot dress here. Let's continue. I'm gonna drive this point home with these next few slides, right? I'm gonna drive it home, right? I'm gonna make sure you understand she's doing this not jokingly or just playing around. This has something to do with her belief system behind the curtains, right? Let's continue. There she is again. Now, once again, when you go and look at her old videos and her old sound and her old look, you see clearly that she did a 180. Almost like she was told to switch it up, or it was an altar within her that came out at some point for whatever reason, where now she's just totally into just borderline overt devil worship or Satanism or what have you. Let's continue. There she is again at a concert on stage, throwing the horns up on her head for Sir Nunos or for the goat god, Pan, Baphomet once again. Man, you can call it whatever you want. I don't give a damn, but you see what she's doing, right? Let's continue. Man, she ain't fucking around. She's really into this, man. She's balls deep into the pagan mythology or the Babylonian Kemetic mystery system. However she's being taught it, however she was taught it, right? She's all the way into it, and she wears that cross around her neck all the time, right? What does that cross really mean? What's going on with my phone right now? All right, let me click that. Okay, let's continue with the slides. There she goes again with the polka dot dress on her. And that also, the polka dot dress or the polka dots in general, that has a resonance in the MK Ultra world as well, if you did not know. All right, we'll get into that in another video. Let's continue. There she is throwing up the mano cornuto, right? Or what's called the horn hand, right? Sticking her tongue out. She's letting you know, man. She's letting you know exactly what she's into. Let's continue. Now, this is her as a, like a Southern belle. This is back when she was going by Sophia Morgan, wherever it was. When she had like a folk rock or like a folk music aesthetic, right? Like that small town USA white girl with the guitar, singing borderline Christian music and all soft and delicate. That was this was at that time. What's so funny, I think I already mentioned it. What's so funny, she's not even from America. So where would she get that from? Like why would she want to project herself in that manner, like she's a Southern belle from small town USA making that kind of music? She's from the fucking UK. So what does that tell me? That's a programmed altar within her, right? She's a programmed asset. So she's playing certain roles. She's a programmed multiple. But let's continue. Now, right here, this is a photo of her on Easter. Now let's read the caption here, and we're gonna go over another screenshot dealing with this right here with her. She says that she lost her virginity on Easter. And we know that Easter is a fertility holiday going back to various fertility goddesses. I can't remember what the Germanic, I believe it was a Germanic fertility goddess named Eros or something of that nature. You can look it up. But she was a fertility goddess, right? And we know that Easter is a fertility holiday. And she says that what? She lost her V on Easter, right? In other words, there was a that seems to be somewhat intentional, because how do you just accidentally lose your virginity on Easter of all days, a fertility holiday? Most likely, that wasn't just by happenstance. There probably was an intentional. There was an intentional part on her. There was some level of intention on her part to lose her virginity on a day like that, right? And you see the bunny rabbit behind her looking all insidious and like, what the fuck is that? That motherfucker look creepy as hell, man. Now look at this right here. I'm not sure who this guy is. I'm assuming because this is on her Instagram, so I'm assuming that this is her brother. And we see he got like a real creepy, demonic looking ass bunny behind him as well. And we see that what? He's got on a Disney t-shirt with Mickey Mouse on it. That is a major telltale sign of an MK asset. And within the MK Ultra world, when someone is a MK program asset, it's usually not just that that one person. If they have a sibling or multiple siblings, usually it's all of the siblings. Usually it's not just that one sibling. So if you're an MK program asset and you have a sister or a brother, they didn't just restrict the programming to you. They implemented it with all of their children. Right? And these signs, the leopard print and certain color schemes or cartoon characters, these are usually things that they program the asset with in order to keep their programming reinforced. So like in the book Thanks for the Memories by Bryce Taylor, she talked about how her and her brother would stick obstacles into the socket, into the electrical socket, and she mentioned how that was a way for them to reinforce their programming on their own so that they don't break out of it. So the asset is trained to do things that will maintain their own programming. So a lot of times when you see them wearing the leopard print and they wear it a lot or wear it at all, that's something that they can always look down on or look down at or look at their sleeve and see that print there, and it reinforces or it reinstills their programming so that they're not breaking out of it. They're not having glitches where they're, flipping out like Shaq did or like Mariah Carey did back in the day. I think it was on TRL when she went up there all bugged out, clearly out of her damn mind. But let's continue. Oh man, now here she is. Right here it says, the caption says, instead of Luvcat, it says Love Bat. And we see she got the fangs in. You see the same theme of red, black, and white. Red for the blood, black and white for the duality. And once again, we see the fangs for blood drinking, right? So she's letting you know what kind of practices she's getting into when the camera's not on her, when she's wherever she is with her people doing her thing. See what I'm saying? This is a real witchy type of female right here. Let's continue. Now here we are again. So we already covered this ad nauseum in part 1. Right? The theme of red, black, and white, the black and white for the duality, the red for the blood on the dance floor. We already seen the Instagram photo of her where she captioned it, "Murder on the dance floor." She's letting you know that she knows what this is. She knows about all of this. She's not just fucking around. She's really into this, right? And you see the leopard print again. Once again, another sign for someone who's a MK beta program sex kitten, right? Luvcat is her name. Sex kitten, really the same thing. Like someone says they're making love, it's about having sex. So sex cat, a love kitten, or love cat, sex, however the hell you want to slice it up. She's letting you know that she's an MK asset, programmed from birth, right? From my perspective, allegedly, right? Let's continue. Once again, she made sure to lean up against the red brick wall behind her as she sits on the black and white checkerboard floor. And that dress also seems like it may be, I'm not sure what that is it roses or leopard print? I don't know. But once again, we see that she's going out of her way to be associated with the black and white checkerboard floor for duality, the Masonic floor, and the color red for the blood on the dance floor. Or as she put it, the murder on the dance floor, the blood sacrifice. Right, let's continue. There she is once again. She got the red dress on. She can't, she's trying to, it's like she's purposely trying to make it clear to you what she's doing, what she's involved in. Again, Watch out for this chick right here, man. Watch out for this chick. I'm almost promising you. I could almost guarantee you within the next couple of years or so, you're gonna find out something strange happened with her, or she's gonna blow up and she's gonna be like the next big star, right? They've already put her through the electroshock therapy, sleep deprivation, sexual torture. To me, she seems like exactly what Bryce Taylor was describing, how she was describing herself. I see this in this chick right here, right? But let's continue. Right, once again, the red, black, and white for the Black Mass, or the Satanic Mass. He's letting you know what she's about. Her and her whole crew. Some of these dudes around her, they may be programmed themselves. They may be MK handlers. Right, with these MK assets, they grow up surrounded by handlers to watch over them, to make sure that they stick to whatever the program is and they don't have a MK glitch and bug out and do some wild shit, right? Self-destruct maybe even. Let's continue.